Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pikachu Koa Guide series. In today's episode we are going to pay attention to the Dragon Altar. How does it work, what are the spells about, and how you should use them to be most beneficial for you. There are in total 13 spells available at the moment in the Dragon Altar, and each one of them has its unique abilities and usage. But let's start from a bit far. The Dragon Altar is used to cast magical spells. And only the rank 5 and rank 4 players have the authority to cast a spell. The spells are divided into 3 groups: attacking spells, defensive, and development spells. They can strike a specific target, an entire alliance, or a certain area, depending on which one you are using them. When the alliance reaches level 10, the Dragon Altar will be unlocked, but only with the basic first 3 spells, which are level 0. The rest of them need to be developed by using the alliance tech. In the development section of your alliance research, there is a dragon magic research that needs to be maxed out to unlock all the spells that the Dragon Altar provides. To be able to cast a spell, the altar must be powered by spell points. And those points are gained by donating elixir. That elixir bottles come only as reward from taking part in the portal rallies. And each elixir bottle offered will raise your spell points by 2 and the elixir level by 2. But when the limit is reached, there is a cooldown, and you need to wait for the cooldown to finish to donate again. So approximately it will take 25 hours and 30 minutes for the elixir to reach the limit from 0 to 100. And that will repeat until the spell points bar gets full to 2000. So basically guys, that takes time and you should use the spells wisely. And speaking of using them wisely, let's see each one of them. What is it about, what cooldown period they have, and how many spell points they cost. Starting with the attacking spells. The first one is the Teleport Freeze, and assuming by its name it prevents the spelled castle to teleport for 2 hours. That's probably the most used spell, especially during KVK and in Kingdoms in Civil War. This spell costs 200 spell points, and has a cooldown period of 7 days. So you need to use it carefully, because you won't be able to use it again until those 7 days runs out. The next spell we are looking at is the Doom Flame. This one is Death from Above. It will cost you 600 spell points and has a cooldown of 14 days. But you should remember, if you are going to use this spell, you need to charge it from your Alliance War panel. You can charge it up to 120%, and depending on your charge it will kill the enemy's stationary troops from 50,000 to 200,000. It also can be cast on multiple people at the same time. If your enemies are gathered around, on 3 square tiles area, everyone in that area will lose some troops depending on the spell charge. To avoid the spell affecting your castle, you can move from that area that is cast before it takes effect, which is within 2 hours. Next we'll be moving on to the Angel of Death. This spell will cost you again 600 spell points, and also needs to be charged 120% to take effect. When you cast it, the targeted alliance will lose permanently up to 10% of their wounded troops. And that's about every alliance member on whom it has been used. This spell doesn't work only over the troops in the alliance hospital. So to avoid this spell you can simply heal your wounded troops in your hospital before it takes effect, and that's within 60 minutes of its start. This spell has 14 days cooldown period as well. The last of the attacking spells is the Lightning March. This one increases the marching speed of all alliance members by 20 to 40%, for a period of 60 to 180 minutes, depending on the spell charge. It will cost you 200 spell points, and 20 points to charge it. And it will take effect after 30 minutes of its start. Now heading up guys to the defensive spells, and the first we're looking at is the Alliance Shielding. We are all aware of the importance of the spell, and the fact it is a lifesaver many times. It's providing a peace shield to the whole alliance for 4 hours, except for the members who are engaged in attacking behavior. It will cost you only 300 spell points, and has cooled down 3 days and a half. The next one is the Disruption spell. It will cost you 750 spell points, and has a cooldown of 3 days and a half. It takes effect immediately after the start, and doesn't require charging. Its job is to disrupt the effects caused by the Angel of Death and Doom flame spells. Right after is the Enemy Eviction. This spell completely destroys the wall defense of your enemy within your alliance territory, which of course, will kick him out of your territory. It will cost you 300 spell points, and its cooldown is 3 days and a half. Next we are looking at the Defense of Fire. This one rising the attack of all your alliance members' defending troops with 20% for 720 minutes. It cost also 300 spell points, and has a cooldown of 7 days, with no charge required here as well. And the last of the defensive spells is the Group Vengeance. It will cost you 200 spell points, with a cooldown of 7 days, providing the Vengeance alert for 4 hours after 10 seconds of its start. But it won't work on those members who are involved in attacking behavior. Now guys, time to take a look at the development section of the spells. The first of them is Accelerated Healing. It costs 200 spell points, with a cooldown of 7 days. I believe we're all taking advantage of its benefits, especially during and after fighting events. And that's exactly boosting all Alliance members' healing speed by 50% for 720 minutes. The next two are extremely useful during the shop event, or the Kingdom Raid parts, when it's time to grow your castle. The Rapid Researcher and the Building Booster will cost you 300 spell points each, and they both have a cooldown of 7 days. The Rapid Researcher and the Building Booster are increasing all your Alliance members respectively the research speed and the construction speed by 20% each, for 720 minutes. And the last spell of all is the Nimble Harvester. This one costs 300 spell points, with a 7 days cooldown, and it will increase all your ally members' resource gathering speed with 50%, for 720 minutes. And guys, so far so good, but let's try to answer some questions about situations you can fall into, and how to react. For example, what spells you can use against players in your own kingdom. The spells are working both for players from your kingdom, and players from others' kingdoms. There are some spells that you can use against players in your own kingdom like the Teleport Freeze, Doom Flame, Angel of Death, and Enemy Eviction, of course if is within your ally territory. Or, can you get spells benefits while you're in another kingdom? And the answer is, no. You need to be in your own kingdom so spells can work. If the spell is cast while you are in another kingdom, you can return to yours to get the spell benefit, except of Alliance Shielding spell, and you can return to the other kingdom. The next one is, what guys you can do to avoid the Doom Flame spell? You can disrupt the spell, using your own Alliance altar to remove it completely. Or you can send all your troops out of your castle. You can also teleport away from the spell zone, or you can just shield to avoid it. And a similar question, but about the Angel of Death is, how can you avoid that spell? Again, you can disrupt the spell, using the disruption spell from your altar, which will remove it completely. Or simply start healing all of your troops in your hospital. You don't need to finish the healing, just starting it will be enough. You can also leave the Alliance, and the spell won't take effect. But take a note here, that Angel of Death spell does not affect the Alliance hospital, also the seasonal hospital in Sorelay. Another one is, what spells can be disrupted? And the answer is, the Angel of Death and the Doom Flame spells. They both will be completely removed with the disruption spell. There are probably tens of other questions about different situations during everyone's experience in the game, so that was just an example guys. Share your experience, or ask your questions in the comment section below. We'll be glad to discuss it. Don't forget to support us by like and subscribe. We hope we were helpful, and you enjoyed the video. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for our next one. See you guys and take care.